Good evening, closing shift listeners, and welcome to episode 35. Thank you for joining us here on this Friday evening.
You're...
I am one of your hosts, Mia. That is other host, Emmy.
Uh-huh.
And we're here to bring some entertainment to your ears. Or your
Yours.
ears. What the fuck?
To your ears.
We're a minute in. Why are we already here?
Where?
We are both in a...
Over here.
Yes. We're not in a great state today, either of us, because I feel like shit and have for the past couple days. And Emmy got, like, no sleep and is hungover.
I'm sober hungover. I did not drink. I'm just, like, tired from the party I was a part of last night, but it wasn't, like, crazy. It was, like, at my house. I feel like
there's a word for sober hungover, and that's just tired.
No, it's different.
This is, like, really tired. I have the opening question for you, and this is gonna theme back into what I have prepared later.
Cool.
Do you believe in any extraterrestrial or paranormal activities?
It's funny that you mentioned paranormal, actually, because quick side story related to that. Last night during the thing I was doing in my house, all of the lights just, like, super, like, dimmed and then went back on, and they were flickering, and this happened for, like, hours. So, hella paranormal. But do I believe in it? Actually, no. I believe that there might be life out there somewhere in the infinite universe, but I don't really have, like, a super strong opinion on it, because I'm not someone who thinks that cosmically, ironically enough. I just, like, I'm such a grounded, like, in the moment, literal person that I would only have a conversation in a scenario like this where he would, like, bring it up. But do I believe in extraterrestrial life? Kind of. Do I believe in paranormal activities? Not really. Like, kind of, but not really.
I will recorrect you back on the question, the original intention of the question. Extraterrestrial activity. Stuff like UFO sightings and stuff like that.
Oh. No.
Not at all. I was thinking about it a couple weeks ago, about how, I mean, people love to have these stories of, like, saying that they got abducted by little green men and all kinds of stuff like that. But the thing is that if there is, like, any sentient life or, like, even just any life form that could ever possibly develop space travel, and it's, like, in the next, like, galaxy over, or even the next star system over, whether or not the alien life actually exists there is completely irrelevant to human existence and possibly won't ever be relevant, because to actually, like, receive information of those aliens, or for those aliens to receive our information, or to travel between the two places, would take more than, like, the lifetime of, like, 100 generations. Like, even more than that. It would take millions of years for us to, like, get back and forth from there. So even if aliens set out on a voyage 1,000,000 years ago to come to Earth in this vastness of space, of course they're gonna come right here. Whether or not aliens actually exist and are out there in a neighboring system is almost entirely irrelevant, because there is almost no way that it could ever actually affect our life, or we could ever actually interact with each other. I'm sorry, alien fuckers, but you're gonna have to wait like 1,000,000 years until we get there. That said, though, I do still love alien stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard for me to watch, like, I don't know. I'd rather watch a, like, video essay about, like, an interrogation analysis than, like, here's how the probe up my ass affects me every day that I got when I was, like, 12 and got abducted by aliens or whatever.
But what if it's real,
Anal
though?
probe.
Anal sphincter.
The only anal probe I ever delivered was the one up your mom's ass.
I was gonna say, you're talking about the lights flickering in your house, all that, but you're having the party. I do think it's funny when people like try to say that like flickering lights or something like that is the sign of like a haunting, like a ghost is there. When like the lights in my house dim when somebody turns on a vacuum in the next room over, you know? Like if you're in like especially an old building and the lights start flickering and dimming, like the AC probably just turned on and it's drawing all the power. But that's
Oh
why
yeah,
it's
no,
like,
but
oh, the lights started to flicker and then I felt a chill.
I understand that, but also this was this was not like that. This was like so like movie dramatic light changing, like almost completely off back to full brightness to dim, just like back and forth. Like it was so dramatic. It was just so weird. And I live in an apartment building for context, so it that doesn't usually happen when we do stuff like that. When we like run the dryer or we turn on a vacuum. It was just so it was clearly some kind of hello, Marcy. Just jumped up, sorry for the
Your
mic
mum
bumps
was
from my
charging
cat.
her vibrator.
Sorry, your mom took a shit and the toilet was so violently torn apart it bummed your power. Marcy, I know you want attention right now, but I am doing the podcast.
It's always wants so much. These dang
Marcy's
cats.
my cat, for those of you who don't know.
I'm gonna get to see that cat in like a week and a half.
Yeah, if you don't know Marcy's my cat, then you're fired from the fan club.
It is now just barely over a week until I'm out there.
When this episode comes out, it's only like 6 days.
God, what a time.
I know.
Which we
Like,
should say that.
this is the last episode you guys are hearing until Mia is here. The next episode will be the last one until the in-person episode that you guys are gonna get to see.
And we should say that that episode should not be expected to be on time or schedule because of the time that it is going to be. The time that we would be recording it is going to be so completely out of phase of like the normal schedule of this show. So don't expect that to be like on time.
Yes, it might be like a day late or two.
2 years.
Maybe you'll never see it.
Maybe that's just for us.
But yes, it is super close to WWE Bad Blood. It is WWE Bad Blood itself is 2 weeks from yesterday for us. Obviously, 1 week from tomorrow for you guys. It's gonna be very cool.
And the day after tomorrow for Tom Cruise.
Good one. So we have so for you guys we have SmackDown tonight and then Raw and the next SmackDown and then Bad Blood. Right now we still have because if you don't know, we always record these episodes on the Sunday before. So it is the 22nd for us right now as opposed to it being the 27th for all of you little shits out there. And we still have this Raw and SmackDown to get through. And the last SmackDown, it was really cool watching Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns fight over like Georgia because it made me feel like I was like a girl they were fighting over, and it was really funny. I was like, oh, they're fighting over my home state, my hometown. Fuck yeah! Like, it means so much to me that this is happening in Atlanta.
It's gonna be
represent
big.
my ATL.
It looks by
It's gonna be huge.
The way things are looking right now, Cody is kind of on track for a bit of a heel turn.
Yes,
the way
a
he's
lot
been,
of people are anticipating that.
Yeah, the way he's been shit talking Roman, he's definitely got a bit of an attitude.
Cody Rhodes, more like Cody. Whoa, chill that attitude.
Cody, whoa,
Cody Rhodes. What if Michael Cole was like, hit him with a crossroads?
That'd be good. I'd like that.
Also,
the two things we've had today has been whoa and you're.
Yep. Just yelling stupid things that aren't real words.
Have to get the energy up.
I am also now, as of this episode's release, 2 weeks and some change on HRT. Very cool. Very much enjoying HRT right now. HRT is very cool. I've been able to feel so much better and more girly, and it's so cool. And I will no longer tolerate misgendering, which I usually tolerate, but I refuse to now because there is literally no excuse anymore. I don't think any trans woman should tolerate it. I just did because I didn't care enough to put up a fight. If I just like wanted to take a piss, I would just use the men's restroom because I just wanted to piss. But ain't no way y'all are gonna deny my gender. My poochie is real and valid. My bussy and my poochie.
I saw a thing.
Poochie and bussy stay goofy and raw.
I saw a tweet from a trans girl the other day posting a selfie as a quote tweet of somebody being transphobic in their replies. And they were like, if you called me a man in public, people would think you had less mental faculties than Joe Biden.
It's crazy too, because some people really just like, you can only do it deliberately nowadays. Like, you're just doing it on purpose. How do you look at like women like that and be like, sir? Like, that just objectively doesn't make sense.
Hey girl,
I don't get it.
I mean they.
Like, even me. Hey girl, I'm sorry, I meant human.
I think that we're going to end up at this point where it's either going to be like, we're going to go back to such a rigid, like, binary structure, like it's the fucking 1700s, and everybody's going to be like clutching their pearls. That, or they're going to self-destruct so much that they're going to end up dismantling gender on their own. It only goes two ways. And either one is stupid.
And that's the end of it. In a video game.
In a video game.
I just also need to talk about my cats more because I love them so much. But since we had a party last night, we had a trash can full of food and bottles and stuff. And they broke it down and it was everywhere in the kitchen when I got up this morning. Not cool. That was definitely Marcy, and I was not happy at her about it.
Little bastard.
Yeah, she's a little shit. Keep your stuff in a safe spot when you're at my house, because she's just a little conniving little shit. She's just a little gremlin, just a little fucking, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, like one of those. I love her though. My favorite thing about my cats is how distinctly different their personalities are. Bonnie is like super like, fuck you guys, I'll do anything to get away from you guys. Very like picky about her social time. And Marcy's like, if you don't play with me, I'm gonna bite your leg. This is very funny. I think you're going to have a lot of fun around them. I'm glad that you get to spend like 6 days with them.
I'm a big fan of cats, and it's going to be nice if they are so distinct like that, that since they're very similar looking, I hope that by the end of it I can tell them apart.
They have collars with different designs. You'll be able to tell them apart.
Cool.
They have very distinctly different collars. Also, yeah, I mean, like, the fur coats are different. You'll be able to understand that, I'm sure, by the end of the trip.
Yeah. They look like little pumpkin spice lattes.
Until you smoke weed and you look at one of them like, Kiki, you look smaller.
You look smaller and there's two of you.
Damn, this saw got me thinking wrong things. Also, speaking of Zaw, my favorite line from Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar right now is, roll the ass up like a fresh bag of Zaw. It's just the way he says it. Also, I love Kendrick Lamar. I just want to say that. Fucking love Kendrick Lamar.
He put out a new thing. I haven't heard it yet.
You haven't heard Not Like Us yet?
No, I've heard Not Like Us, but he put out another thing recently.
Oh, hold on. Let me look up what it is. I didn't know he put out another new thing. I only just recently, like, retroactively got into Not Like Us. I had heard it and I liked it, but I had only recently gotten into it. It's just so funny to me that he made one of the most popular songs, like, he ever made in his career, and it's just about Drake being a pedophile, and it's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. Like, that's the best diss track I've ever heard. I don't see him having released anything more recently. You mean, like, after Not Like Us, or a different thing? I think he just posted it after Not Like Us. I think he, like, posted it recently only on, like, Instagram or something. Oh, yeah, no, it's not on, like, Spotify or anything. Or they got something like a fresh bag of Zaw. I also love, he also makes a WWE reference in that song, and that makes me so happy. His references,
Sweet Chin Music.
Sweet Chin Music, and I won't pass the ox.
Oh, there was that
such
horrible,
a good reference.
Like, because now WWE is having like actual music, that they're like doing licensed music deals with artists for songs for shows now, instead of it all being fucking Def Rebel. Thank God. Right. There was somebody who was like, just being an asshole on Twitter, is like, there's never been any connection between WWE and like hip hop.
That's
or
so
like rap.
not true. Are you
It's
fucking
so
kidding me?
unbelievably
I have been a
untrue.
WWE fan for 16 years, and they've been doing that for longer than that.
Just
Are
look
you
at
kidding
fucking
me?
John Cena.
Like, John Cena wrote his own song. He made that. Like, what do you mean? Like, I went to a
he used to
WrestleMania whose theme
freestyle in
song
the
was
ring.
hip-hop. Licensed. Like, what?
John Cena used to freestyle in the ring, and he would dress with fucking
Boobies.
like all that fashion of the time.
Of the time.
Booby.
You mean the
Yeah,
Doctor
you
of
know.
Thugonomics?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a
I'm
huge
talking
fan of
about
that character.
Thugonomics.
I'll be honest. Not a huge fan of
But,
that
like,
character, personally.
You know, but then you have stuff like Kendrick Lamar referencing Sweet Chin music and Not Like Us, and you have the entire discography of Kill Bill.
Right. It's great.
People just want to be stupid and loud.
Yeah, no, people just want to be... People just are mad at nothing and have no outlet for it because they don't have any friends and their wife hates them. Even you lesbians, I know you're out there.
I was going to mention this before we started talking about Kendrick Lamar, but is that I always had this idea of like the way that people would talk about like getting high and like the experience of it as like everybody would talk about it like it's a crazy thing where you end up in this like delusional state and
Yeah.
it's like just completely gone from reality.
It's not
Every
LSD.
time. Yeah. Every time that I've fucking like been off of that shit, it's always been like I just sit there and I fucking scroll Twitter and just like forget about time.
No, it literally
I'm
just
like,
makes
oh,
you so
I've been
chill. It's
looking at
honestly
this
a really
post for like
helpful
a few
drug.
minutes. It's just like for a while, I was just using it as a sleep aid.
Right. It's not like that's the problem. Is like that's what everyone thought, and it's one of those beliefs that people still hold up from like the 80s and 70s
The
in the
devil's
government
lettuce,
and stuff. Like I saw this
left-handed
video.
cigarettes.
Yeah, that was a new rap single. He just released that.
Yep.
I listened to it. It was a lot more upbeat than I expected, but it was good. I'm sure it's one of those rap singles that will grow on me in the next like by January. I'm gonna be like, that's my favorite song of his right now. It takes songs a while to grow on me like that. I mean, like Not Like Us as an example. When did Not Like Us come out? Like the summer or some shit?
It's like last May or this May, I suppose. Been a long year.
Right. Yeah, it came out in May. But like I just got into it recently. Like that's just it happens with some songs. Like there are some artists specifically, and I'm sure anyone who knows me knows all of them, that like when their stuff comes out, I love it, and that's the end. But like I didn't get into California Love until Dr. Dre did the Super Bowl. That was literally like, and that's like sad, you know? But also like I'm really glad I got into a lot of music like that when I was an adult because I could responsibly listen to it. If I listened to it when I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a fucking thug. I'm going to go to the roller skating rink and pick up bitches. I was such a little piece of shit. Like, my music taste in middle school, when I was going to the roller rink, like every Friday, because that was what you did in middle school. And you would drink Monster and then go home and stay up and play video games and then get yelled at by your mom at 3 a.m. Maybe my experience was a little more specific than others, but, you know.
You watch a YouTube video on how to impress women.
You watch Markiplier, and then you watch porn and jack off, and then you watch more Markiplier. Oh my god. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but my music taste was like exclusively metal / rock and like rap. I would listen to like Big Sean and Kanye West and stuff, because that's just what you did. That's just what you did. That's what they played. They played like, you know, you remember that rap song that was like, it had like N-word in the title and all he just said the N-word in the chorus like a million times.
Yep.
Yeah. They played that, but like censored at the roller rink. So imagine that, right? So it's like near, like every time.
I'm 100%.
Like literally. I would like when they played it, even in middle school, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Why they even play
That's
this?
fucking crazy. Yeah,
No.
why bother playing
Like
that
really
song?
though, like it's not even like for the rest of the lyrics, but like dude, the other parts are so good though.
That reminds me of somebody like wrote a
It's
thing.
like playing Fat
like,
Refund and like
years.
fucking just like cutting out all the like what?
Not Fat Refund.
Oh my god, I wish that I really like the beat on that song, but it's so bad.
It's not a
Like I wish I could
man.
listen to that song. I think it's such a good beat, but like I obviously cannot listen to it.
It's yeah.
So
it's
many
not-
white people saying N-words.
Yeah, not a man. It's such a weird time. The 20 like early 2010s, I suppose.
That came out in 2014.
Ah,
That was like after the first Starbomb album.
that was like right between like like Game Grumps JonTron era.
That was pretty far after the JonTron era.
I think wasn't
They
that
left in
like
2013.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they just
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I remember
some-
because I remember knowing that John was there for like 1 year and then Dan took over. And they played like Fight Night or whatever. What the fuck is it? What's the Mike? No, not Mike. What's the Lil Mac game?
Punch Out. That was the
Yeah,
first
Punch
one.
Out.
That
Yeah,
and
Fight
Mario
Night. That's
2.
what I said.
Fight Night.
I remember them playing Punch Out, and he was like, "I'm here with my buddy Dan.
Dan.
Here with my lover Dan." Yeah, but I remember that specifically, so that's how I always remember that John was on the show for like 1 year. I will say the only clip I really enjoy going back and watching of the John era is when they were playing Nickelodeon Guts, and he was like, "How is that not the fucking same? Are you fucking being serious right now?"
Oh my god, yeah, that.
He was like, "That's all I wanted to know. You know how to do it, but you won't tell me, and that makes me lose automatically because I'm losing time."
I've never understood the people who are like, the people who so adamantly defend like the JonTron era as being the only good thing of Game Grumps. Like, I stopped watching after John left the show. Like, I feel like it's such a massive self-report of somebody's like character when they say that like they only like the JonTron era, because like, oh yeah, that's the only thing you found funny is when the two of them just argued constantly and they said so many N-words and other slurs that half the episodes were censored.
Yeah. So.
No, those are the
same
times.
people that. Those are the same people that think weed has the same effects as LSD and that misgendered trans women who look literally just as feminine as cis women. Like it's not even a comparison anymore. Medicine and like gender transitioning has come so far that like how can you even tell the difference? Like
That's
I think
thing,
the way
though,
most people judge it and identify it is by voice, and that's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like it's happened to me. Like I'll go out with like I'll be really upfront here. I'll go out with like prosthetic breasts, makeup. You can't see my 5 o'clock shadow. I've covered it up with makeup. I have like a dumpy anyway, so I got coverage there. I go out with like a skirt and a t-shirt and like thigh highs and some cute tennis shoes. And I'll go like, "Where's the bathroom?" And they'll be like over there, point directly to the men's bathroom. I'll be like, "Are you fucking serious?" And then I'll go into the women's one and they'll be like, "Oh."
Oh.
It's like, what'd you think, dumbass?
It's like, it's so aggressively, like, trying to shove people into categories. Like, the way that people try and, like, detect things so much now. Everybody wants to be a fucking private investigator. They want to have their fucking light Yagami shit, where they're like, I could tell by your subtle cues that, you can always tell. It's like, the ways that they try to determine
Shut up.
It's always like ways that will inevitably and have like resulted in the discrimination of cis women because they're not feminine enough.
Right.
Like if you go by the voice, well, there's a lot of women that have like deep masculine voices. You go by body type, guess what?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with different body types. There's no one way that you can ever define or discover that does not in some way have a massive amount of collateral.
You're all so fucking stupid. Okay, conversation's over.
Are you
I just
ready
found a
for,
podcast on Spotify called Gender Swap. Speaking of.
Yeah, but I was gonna say briefly in that, but it's like stuff like HRT has been around for like over 50 years now.
Yeah, and HRT is not just for trans people. It's been around helping cisgender people anyway. It's for several uses.
Hey, you have fucking like Rogaine and like
I'm
dudes
too tired
taking
to
fucking
tolerate the existence of these people.
dudes taking TRT to get their fucking hair back. It's like, yeah, that's gender affirming care.
Literally. Like you guys are just like lying. You're just all lying.
Speaking
There's just
of
enough
lying,
of you that you can like fucking defend it. Anyway, what about lying?
I have our article for today.
Oh, okay, cool. We can
Closing
do that.
shift
And then
listeners. We're going to take a look at the past with this article.
And I have to try and guess the year or whatever, the decade. Didn't you change the
Yes.
rules or something about that?
Yes, it used to be open-ended, that you had to just try and vaguely guess what year it was, and if you were within a certain range, you get certain points, but now we have switched to a multiple-choice system, so it's more clear-cut, black and white victory or failure. I have a real good one today, because out of 54,801 pages of newspapers, and these newspapers all being, like, there's 20 results per page here on the Library of Congress. So take that 54,000 and multiply that by 20 of how many entries that the odds that I landed on this being pretty amazing. Here is your article for today.
I'm ready. Put it in me. Tell me.
Army whips up saucer flurry, however, find finally fizzles. Mysterious disc found on farm proves altitude weather device. Chicago, July 8th. The Army Air Forces whipped up a flurry of excitement today with an announcement that one of the mysterious flying saucers had been found on a ranch in New Mexico, but it turned out to be part of an Army high-altitude weather observation device. Colonel William H. Blanchard, commanding officer of the Roswell, New Mexico Army Air Base, announced the discovery, describing the object as a flying disc. Brig Gen Roger B. Ramey, Fort Worth, commanding general of the 8th Air Force, then announced the object would be flown to Wright Field O for investigation. The Army Air Forces in Washington quickly followed with a statement that Ramey had reported to headquarters that an object reported to be a flying saucer was being forwarded to Wright Field. Hours after the first announcement, Warrant Officer Irving Newton Stetsonville, Wisconsin, assigned to the weather station at the, continue to the next page, Fort Worth Air Base, examined the flying disc. He identified it without qualification as a Rowan high-altitude sounding device. 4 released daily. Newton said that 4 of the devices are released each day by every Army weather station in the nation. The devices, which are composed of a 50-inch synthetic rubber balloon and a star-like device that looks like a box kite, can attain a height of 60,000 to 70,000 feet and may drift any place. Ramey immediately arranged for a broadcast over a Fort Worth radio station to, quote, deflate the stories about the object. He described it as remnants, quote, remnants of a tinfoil-covered box kite and a rubber balloon. He said it was a, quote, high-altitude weather observation device, a very normal gadget in Weather Bureau observations. He added that he didn't know anything about, quote, flying discs. Now, that was quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
But here are your options for when this flying disc UFO story was published. Was it 1918, 1947, or 1965?
Wait, what was the first choice?
1918.
1918, 1947, and 19 what?
65.
1847 and 65.
1918, 1947, 1965.
No, I was saying like the last 2 digits of each year. 1847.
Oh.
9.
I thought you were saying it was fucking 1865.
No, I know what you thought when I heard you correcting me. I was like, no, I'm just saying I'm simplifying it. I'm having trouble keeping up because the first like 10 words you said, I didn't understand. 1918, 47, and what's the last option?
1965.
65. I keep forgetting which.
Let me just put them here in the fucking Discord.
Please. I have to take a shit.
Oh my god. Is this the worst episode we've ever done?
I thought it was 1918. You put the wrong option.
Oh, you're right.
Come on. Tricking me.
I mean, either way, you're choosing 1, 2, or 3.
You're choosing pre-Great Depression, post-Great Depression, and post-World War II, okay?
Yeah, that's just pre-Great Depression, just barely after World War II, and Civil Rights era.
Did World War II end before 1947?
When did World War II end? Hang on.
Did it end in 1945? I thought it started in 1945, but I don't remember. think it started in 1942.
World War
maybe?
II ended in 45.
Okay, I was right.
It started in 1939.
Mm.
In September. Wow, it actually like was almost like
To the day.
almost 6 years to the day. September 1st, 1939, ended on September 2nd, 1945.
Huh. Boy, would they not expect what happened in September later on.
September
In
really is an
2001.
eventful month.
Yeah, September. What the fuck is wrong with you? So this article is about people thinking that a weather machine is a flying saucer, but it's not.
This is
but it's-
legitimately, if you don't know any like context around this, if this doesn't ring any bells,
I
this
barely
is
remember the
like
context you gave me.
this is one of the OG flying saucer reports of America. Like the famous Roswell, New Mexico flying saucer that gets parodied in everything. Like even the fucking Looney Tunes movie has like, the Area 51, Roswell, New Mexico, flying saucers. This is like one of the biggest origins of all of that. Like this is the
Then-
story that people parody when they want to talk about aliens.
I'm going 1918 because you said origin. It makes me think it's old. If it's 1947, then I'm surprised it took us that long to start thinking about flying saucers. But I'm going 1918.
I hate to tell you this, but this was an article published in the Wilmington Morning Star on July 9th, 1947.
Yeah. I knew if I was wrong, it was 47.
This is when, because there was a
But I'm
lot
not
of
surprised.
there was a lot of air advancements that happened.
But I am pissed.
Between World War I and World War II. There was like huge advancements made in like anything that got put up in the air. So that's where we started to get like a lot of UFO stories started to pop out of
Weather
everywhere.
balloons with children in them.
Got that story, Balloon Boy.
That's what you were talking about. Made me think of was Balloon Boy. Balloon
Yeah,
Boy.
so that's why-
I don't think we should call it Balloon Boy. I feel like there's another thing that relates more to that. Maybe.
Well, there is. That's the official story of like that story of like the kid who. What it's a fake story. They made it all up for attention, and the kid
I
gave
know.
away the game on the news. But the
Yes.
the whole thing of the kid being in the weather balloon.
Didn't he give away on the news and his dad was kind of like, shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that story is officially known as Balloon Boy. But that's why like everything, like so many UFO articles came out around the era of World War II because there were so many advancements made in air
Japan's got
travel
flying
and
saucers.
balloons. So people, they would start seeing these flying devices made by the army or whoever else, and it just, it's like even though that story is fake too, but this
Germany
kind of
hired
stuff,
green people.
this kind of story like reads as the people who like are scared
Oh,
about the
God.
train coming out of the movie screen.
What?
You don't know about that? Like that's
They're
a
scared
famous
of Choo Choo
like
Charles?
famous
know what
urban
you're talking
legend
about.
of when like the first movie ever shown in like a theater like that, the first ever like quote unquote movie was just a sequence of film showing a train pulling into a station, and the urban legend is, oh, people didn't know what like the deal was with movies yet, nothing had been done there yet, so people saw this train coming at them on the projector and they thought it was going to come out of the screen and hit them. Which is bullshit. That's fake. That's like one of the dumbest things you could ever hear. Because the thing is that projectors existed before movies, and people would make like mostly animated slideshow kind of things. That like movies existed, they just hadn't captured series of pictures to create a motion picture. But like it existed, it was real. Like people knew what movies were.
Movies weren't invented until the 80s.
Since the 1980s, yo.
What is that from? Tell me now.
It's been since the 1980s, bro. It's from Starbomb something.
Right, it's Robots in Need of Disguise. That's right.
That's the one. God, I haven't heard that song in years.
That's why when you referenced it, I was like, I know that. What's that from?
You
Tell
guys
me
been on
right
my
now.
lunchbox since the 1980s.
Fucking 80s, yo.
That used to be one of my favorites.
I think it's time for us to disappear.
Autobots roll out. Let's show them what we're out about. You know a video I used to
that's definitely
love?
one of my favorites, especially from Player Select. What?
It was also Game Grumps when they were, I don't even know what channel they were on, but they did like a singing part in like this a cappella rendition of the Transformers theme song.
Oh yeah, I love that
Yeah.
video. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me look up what
Yeah.
channel that was on.
I'm looking that up now. That
Okay,
was on the
then I won't
Warp
look it up.
Zone.
That's right.
Remember, just like that, I love that. I was like, oh man, that's so cool.
I'm also gonna shoot you real quick a link.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Oh wait, actually, what?
You're gonna shoot me?
No, shut. Let me finish my sentence. First of all, I was gonna say, I forgot, but this episode will be the first. I totally forgot to like announce this because I forgot it was gonna happen. But this will be the first episode we are bringing back the original video version format so that we can put images and stuff on the screen for you guys.
Oh yeah.
I forgot, and I'm gonna start editing a video version together every week so you guys can so we can provide visual context to our show somewhat. Like if I turn on my camera, I can like record my screen or something. Or if we want to post pictures. But I want to put this picture on the screen now while I send it to you, but it's a picture of Cody Rhodes, his wife and his daughter at Disneyland, and it's really cute.
Oh, nice.
It's so adorable. Yeah, it's just like them on the Astro ride or whatever. Super cute.
Wonderful. You know what's nice with having a video format for showing images is that there are oftentimes like things in these papers that like make for fun visual stuff, like the when I read off like advertisement sections of like get your newt oil to solve all your ails, and it has like that fun like 1800s like commercial art.
Right.
But what wouldn't have been great is if there was a different article that I would have gone with today that was absolutely horrendous.
Oh yeah.
When I was looking for one to have today.
We're not putting this on the screen, by the way.
No, God, no. But there was one article that I found from, I think it was still was it from the 40s, I think? But it's just like the most racist cartoon I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't even get it because like, well, I mean, I guess
no, the
I'm
joke
not
doesn't
racist,
make any sense.
But the
probably
joke
like
didn't
one of
make
those
sense,
things
and the
that,
portray
like,
it's just it. I mean,
the things that the portrayal of it, if you want to know like what we're looking at, is that it's a depiction of African people, but they're drawn with fucking duck faces and the most racist caricature features you could ever imagine.
It's horrendous.
And the like actual joke underneath the comic, the caption for it is completely indecipherable in our modern time and probably makes as much sense as somebody 100 years from now probably trying to read up about this fucking thing about like eating cats in Ohio.
Yeah.
Probably some dumb media bullshit that everybody forgot about because they weren't mad about it anymore.
So anyway, yeah, happy to protect all of you from that image. I also am just gonna establish that let's send any contextual things for an episode in the closing shift group chat, so they're just there.
I love the two back-to-back things happening in the closing shift group chat of you kicking out Owen and then posting Cody Rhodes flexing.
It's just like
out of the way,
like
King's coming through.
Out of the way, this is my kingdom. Yes, I love Cody Rhodes and his wife and his daughter. They're so cute. I love his family. So you can go enjoy that. If you want to go follow Cody Rhodes on Instagram, I recommend it.
Also, I think it is possible to do the video format maybe on Spotify. I don't know how all that works out, but that means that...
I know how it works.
You know how to do the video stuff on Spotify?
Yeah.
Is it just like as simple as putting in the thing?
You upload the same way. You just upload a video file instead of an audio file.
Okay.
It's the same thing. I know because I did getting to know video version on Spotify.
The only thing that I'm worried about with that is that it's already bad enough for the YouTube side of things that YouTube is guaranteed to go out at least an hour after Spotify because Spotify is already ready and published and ready to go. It only gets sent to YouTube for processing the moment that it goes live on Spotify.
Oh, no. I'll upload the video version to YouTube myself.
Yeah, but...
So it's, yeah.
But that's, yeah. Just worried about, like, time schedule stuff for this. Because it's already, like...
I thought the episodes go out on YouTube immediately they're just like unlisted.
Well, okay, so
Does it take a bit
well,
longer?
so they upload to YouTube unlisted, but they have to process on YouTube's side first before they can be uploaded. So they get put to YouTube, but they're not ready to publish at the time that everything goes out. Like you know, if you go check like the dashboard when all that's happening, it's like processing 50%. It's like, okay, be back here in like half an hour.
I mean, okay, that's not a huge deal. That's manageable. But yes,
Manageable.
happy to bring the video version back. Let me make sure I still have that project file before I talk all this smack. I definitely do somewhere.
So much shit.
Yeah, I do. Video project template. Yeah, I do. Actually went in and like was kind of messing with it a little bit ago, but yeah, I'm excited to have the video version back. I think it'll be a nice graphic. Also, if you guys it'll be kind of a cooler like graphic to have up on the screen if you guys listen to it on your TV or your computer and you're one of those weirdos that watches full screen videos on YouTube on their computer. But other than that, you're welcome.
You got a problem with full screen video?
It's too big.
Too big. What if I want to see all the shit on screen?
Get closer. Make it bigger with
Get
your
even
mind.
closer to your monitor. Don't sit too close to the TV. It'll burn your eyes.
True.
That is something that does like worry me with being in front of like glowing screens all day. It's like, is this doing horrible things to like my face and skin? Being blasted with these lights like constantly.
Probably.
Sitting 2 inches away from this fucking light box.
I'm sure I've lost hair looking at this screen before for this long. I honestly, last night, like I said last night, we hosted a birthday party for our friend at our house, and wow, hold on, lost it.
Give me a second eye.
And we I hate that you did that. We hosted the party, and I was able to socialize and have fun until like 3 a.m., which I have not been able to do online in years. So I was just like, I know that when you're here, it's going to be a lot easier for us to like stay up and have fun and stuff.
Oh yeah, we're going to be up.
Even though we'll still be pretty tired, it's going to be a lot easier to like stay up.
I'm going to be up. I'm going to
Plus,
be
I mean, on the
solid.
chill, on the more chill days, we can get up whenever the fuck we want. Mia and I were also talking about this plan we might do in the future-ish. That's like Mia flies out here every like 6 months, or we fly to one or the other house.
We
every,
both
like,
go to
6 months
Brokeback Mountain once a year.
We go fuck 19 naked cowboys at Ram Ranch.
Used to be 18, but they've added some new hires.
There was a software update.
I love that Ram
I
Ranch
love-
is a real place.
Since we haven't talked about it on the show, let's talk about iOS 18, by the way. It's so awesome.
You know, if you want to talk about iOS 18 this week, you can. Why not? We have time to fill. I'm tired. Please, I'm hungry.
I just like the home screen dark mode thing. Like, let me send a screenshot that I will also put on the screen. But the bottom of my screen particularly, I've had the same setup on like the bottom row on iPhones that never changes.
Yep.
Or that never swipes with the page. I've had it set up like this. It's on the screen now. I've had it set up like this for like as long as I can remember having an iPhone and also Spotify. And the phone and message app icons matching now is really cool. It's really satisfying.
Oh yeah.
I
feel like
have
that would
to...
be a problem. Like I would be misclicking everything. I'd be like going for Spotify and I'd hit text messages.
Oh, I just have for me that wouldn't be an issue just because I have muscle memory. I've like I said, like the furthest back I can remember having my app icons at the bottom set up like this is like being 16 years old, which was almost 10 years ago.
I wish they would bring back...
And also some apps, particularly, sorry, just real quick, also some apps, most Apple apps, but a lot of app developers have also made sure to update their apps so they are compatible with this dark mode thing, like the Chipotle app, the Arby's app, the Papa John's app, the Target app, the Capital One app and stuff. The YouTube app, the Instagram app, they have it. And it looks very nice when they all match. Unfortunately, a lot of apps haven't done it. TikTok was already like a dark app, so they didn't even have to change theirs, but you know.
I miss the days. I wish they would let you still have like a theme that just made everything look like the old iOS icons for everything. Like remember like old YouTube and everything. Like all
the
that had such
icon.
I miss things being kind of like fun and a little bit goofy. Like even if it's like, oh god, this is all so tacky and all like whatever, but it's like everything now is so devoid of personality. Like I've like recent
I miss
scandal.
before they had all these pronouns when you could have an iPhone and it was fine. You could just watch YouTube, didn't have all this Vine, this TikTok.
I just like opened Twitter for a moment because I wanted to look at like the thing with like the PayPal changing their logo, with that being like a huge scandal because it's fucking boring as shit how they change everything to just be like a serif font, and it's just so boring. And it's like, cool, somebody got paid $1 million to type text into a fucking Photoshop file. But we can't share this on the show. I can't send this to you, but I just opened Twitter to look for that. I immediately get served an ad for hearing and brain centers. Find a location near you. Untreated hearing loss can lead to social isolation, depression, cognitive decline. The fucking image for this advertisement is 3 people sitting around a table, all of them smiling and laughing, and one of them is holding a human brain. Like a real-ass human brain. They're just at a fucking, like, table in front of a window, like, overlooking, like, this, like, sunny, tree-filled parking lot. It's like, why? Just holding a brain.
Sunny, brain-filled parking lot.
They're not even in like they're not like a lab or anything. It's a fucking like carpeted room. Just looks like an office. Why are you holding a human brain?
Anyway, I wanted to send 2 more examples of the other thing. I'm not trying to like sell you on iOS 18 anybody, but I wanted to show 2 more examples of the other thing you can do, which is you can set a custom color for all the apps to match, and it'll change everything. And that's kind of nice. It would be a little cooler if it wasn't just like literally a pasted like filter over the apps.
Yeah.
But for apps like Discord, for example, they have like can
look at that.
You can make custom icons. You can choose an icon on Discord for the app if you have Nitro. So that's another kind of thing.
Yeah. Things like your New York Times like images there for like the app icon for like the New York Times games.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally like a bit of a colorful image, and then it just gets like murdered.
Oh yeah, literally.
You too now can emulate colorblindness.
I played Wordle, but I'm colorblind.
I need to get a list of all the different like doles. There's a million of them now, and I that's one of the like nice things to do. You know, it gets uploaded either once a week or a couple times a week. Northern Lion doing all the doles, and it's just like like an hour-long video where he just goes from like Wordle to like Pokedoku and stuff like that. Does all these fun little games he hits back to back, and it's just like a nice little routine, just like a chill time, just solving all these little puzzles.
I miss when I could have such a simple routine like that, where I just started my day off doing all the Wordles.
Yeah, you used to be big on that morning Wordle routine. You do like the math one too.
I was huge on it. It was my fucking jam.
You'd like start your streams with it.
Mm-hmm. It was my jam.
Yeah.
Still would, but I just don't. I do other things now. I don't even game that much. I haven't even been gaming that much recently. Most recent thing I did was get a bunch of games set up in my Dolphin emulator, because I've been wanting to go back and revisit a lot of GameCube games legally.
Nice.
Metroid Prime is one of them.
Fuck yeah. You know there's a version of Dolphin that is like specifically tailored to Metroid Prime?
I did not know that. I
would highly recommend if you're going to play it using that.
I know about the Smash one.
Yeah. But, with old games and all that, talking about that, there is something that I have started to do this week, which is that I intend now to learn how to speedrun Ocarina of Time.
I saw you streaming that, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I like the games.
I want to watch it.
It's good. I started with this with, like, my tester, my canary in the coal mine for this was doing a rando, and it's like pretty easy setting rando, which actually, funny enough, makes it even hard. Like, it's a weird thing doing randos, because it makes it so that way you like the easier the settings are in your rando, the longer it is going to take, because it means the most backtracking you're going to have to do for all the possible locations if you're not going to be breaking any logic. But that was like my tester. It's like, if I can get through doing rando and trying to like get everything here, then that'll like, as I go along from that, I'll learn like some stuff about this, figure out some things, and like learn how to do a couple things. Like the very basic stuff, like I know how to like get out of Kokiri Forest early and do ISG and equip swap, like very basic things. But my plan is to start with, I'm going to start with learning glitchless hundo. So that way then I can just build game knowledge, and then I'm going to try and hit like, moving on to more difficult, more trick-focused categories. And the ultimate goal of this isn't even to get like good times in these categories. It's to learn them and be good at them so I know how to do all the stuff, because I'm actually more interested in doing randomizers for Ocarina of Time than actually speedrunning it. But I want to learn how to speedrun it to build the knowledge of how to do the randomizers.
That's all you need.
It was going decently for a little bit, and then I ended up being stuck for quite a while checking just the most basic, like, one item check at a time, getting absolutely nothing for a very long time, because there was an item that I needed. I needed the Goron bracelet, and it was, like, there where I could get it, but I mistook it for a different item, so I didn't get it, and I was just a fool about it.
Yeah.
And then it turned out I checked, most places that you can check in the randomizer without breaking logic, which was the rules of it. And only after doing that did I find that the items that I needed were hidden behind the collectathon elements of like, I still have to get 10 more gold sculptulas from around the map just to be able to get the bomb bag, which is one of the first items you get in the game pretty early. So that's like doing the most grinding elements that you are supposed to do slowly over the course of the entire game. That's what I have to completely focus on to make any progress.
Oh my God.
Not a great time.
But it's a time you chose to spend.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Somebody please tell me who the FI is.
I also want to put another picture on the screen. I'm gonna abuse this video version format.
Oh my God.
I want to put another picture on the screen because CM Punk posted something to his Instagram story that is very relevant to what we feel like today. And it's just this picture where it says, like, I must not have slept well. I feel exhausted. I don't know what comic book that's from, but it's very funny.
Don't know either.
Probably says it on the Instagram post.
It says on the post that it's from the page Old Horror Comics. So I guess it's just a
Let me see.
repository where people post old horror comics.
Let me go back to his story. I bet I can see it's probably in the, it's from some horror comic.
You know what I can do to make things easier for, like, giving you notes for what images to put where in these episodes? Instead of putting it in, like, a note document or whatever and sending that your way, I'll just use this closing shift group chat, and I'll just reply to each picture with the timestamp that it goes in.
All right.
Just to keep it so it's, like, each thing is tagged individually under the picture itself.
Right. That works. I also could, a way I might do this differently actually is uploading these all to Drive and putting them in a folder for each episode. I might do that also. And then you could just send me like a list in order of the time codes. Like I'll name each photo in order of its appearance and then like that.
I suppose.
I'll do that because I don't need to fill this group chat up with images.
Truth.
That'll satisfy my ADHD more.
Were you able to find the comic where that came from that CM Punk posted?
I don't think the post said the title of it.
As people just post so much these days, they don't give credit to nothing. That's a big thing I'm seeing on Twitter a lot now. People like screenshotting posts and posting it themselves instead of quote tweeting. Just like full on clout stealing. Well, I suppose that brings us to the end of this here episode 35 of Closing Shift. Thank you for joining us here, and we hope you join us again on another Friday, a week from now.
Please do.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.